Okay, hey, what's going on, guys? I think we are live, and I think we're rolling. I've got the little red record button going, so I think that's it. But check it out. We've got day 3 of the 10283. It's the Shuttle Discovery, and it's been a beast of a build so far, quite frankly. But we've got about bags. I think we're on 15. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think we were supposed to be on 16. I think I just put these in another bag. I think we've just got 16 and 17 to go, and we're pretty much gonna be at the end of this thing. So right now we've got it mostly complete here. So it's looking pretty good. You can see we don't have the crew compartment yet. Well, we kind of do, but we have the mid deck. We don't have the upper deck yet. So we've got one Lone Ranger over here down in the mid deck. You can kind of see that one blue chair down in the middle, and we do have the Hubble out here, as you can see, nicely docked in there. And there's really not much more to do. It's really just the upper deck of the crew cabin, and we've got some of the orbital maneuvering engines here that we've got to fill in, and we actually started doing one of them last night. So here's what they look like. A lot of good detail, but I mean really just the shuttle all around. It's pretty crazy. So you've got the opening cargo bay here just to show you around. We've got the what's affectionately known as the Canada arm out here. Kind of see that thing maneuver. And one thing that occurred to me too is we have built two stands. We've built one for the Hubble and we've built one for the shuttle, but I haven't yet built the stand to put this thing up in its deployment position. So I'm pretty sure we're probably going to do that at the end. I see a couple black pieces at the end, but this should be a fairly quick wrap up here. And I think that's going to be it. Let me run you through some of the cool things first. Again, we have the Hubble, which so far fits pretty well. We haven't affixed the arms with the rolled up solar panels yet, but without them, they go into the bay just fine. And we've got the ability to close it here. And some really cool features, as you guys have probably already seen already. Moving one of the main engines at the top activates the elevons, which is really cool. So check that out. So you can kind of control the pitch there with that. I mean, you could even do it on your own just by playing with it there. What else do we got? Oh, we've got the gears. The gear assembly was pretty cool. Building the connection that gets all the way to the front from the switch, which is at the back of the body flap. So speaking of the body flap, that does work, and when you push it forward, it's going to activate all three gears, as you can see. That's pretty cool. So you do have to put them back up yourself, but totally fine. One detail I did like is the front gear. They did make a lot shorter than the rear gears, and you can tell from the actual footage, from the real shuttle. When it's on the ground, it has a pretty aggressive front rake, I would call it, where the front is lower to the ground than the back. So I like that they even replicated it, on the Lego form. So when it's sitting on the ground, it's going to be kind of at an angle, sitting like this, not level per se, but it'll be sitting slanted forward like that. So that's pretty cool that they took that detail and replicated it pretty well. Another detail so far that we've got are is the rudder, which also functions as a spoiler by splitting the rudder in two like that, so you can lower the velocity of the shuttle when it's coming in. So that's pretty cool. And the rudder does, of course, function as a normal rudder, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on, and again, we're looking forward to doing the last like 1.5 bags, and then do a quick run around and show you guys the finished portion of it here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and stand it up like I had it doing yesterday. It worked pretty well yesterday, but we'll see how it works here. And the telescope just wants out today. It wants nothing to do with it. Alright, so we're gonna take that out. Let's just put this up here like so. Yeah, that'll work for now. Speaking of the Hubble, it does look pretty cool on the stand. The Hubble itself, it's got the solar arrays here to the side, and you can also open the lens cover there, and you can see the lens. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like its own build in itself, really. I mean, really it is. You're kind of getting a 2-in-1 sort of deal here. So that's pretty cool. But going into it now, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. We did one orbital maneuvering engine, and we're going to go ahead and do the other one. We can actually go ahead and slap this one on. If I can get to it. So there you go, that whole piece kind of just comes on. And it's covering up. You've got one gap here, so you can see here where we didn't do it yet, and here where it is. So that's kind of the finished, really, rocket assembly on that whole side there. All right. So let's see where we left off in the page, and I think I left you guys with a tidbit when we did the orbital maneuvering system, so I'll start off with that again. The orbital maneuvering system and reaction control system are groupings of engines and thrusters that control the orbiter's movements while in space. That's pretty cool, because no air, of course, so the elevons and the rudder are not going to work in a vacuum, so it definitely helps to have that way a way to maneuver in a vacuumless or in a vacuum of space. So that is pretty much what that's there for. And we're going to go ahead and do the right side orbital maneuvering system here. Oh, and by the way, to those of you guys out there celebrating, I forgot to mention this, but a happy Easter out there to y'all. Hope you guys are spending it, with the loved ones and having a good time. Me, myself, I'm here chilling out, and I can't complain. Yeah, so we got pretty far. Again, we've only got like 1.5 bags to go, but yesterday it was getting pretty well into the night, and we just had to call it quits. Sometimes you got to know when to call it. So we made that call even though we only had about 1.5 bags to go. So I do know that today it's going to get done. Did have some pretty cool chatter on here last night. A couple cool. We had some tuners in from a lot of different time zones for sure, but we did have someone from Brazil chime in, which was pretty cool. Someone from Germany came on for a little bit, and yeah, pretty cool pretty cool chat about the shuttle program in general. I definitely learned a lot. I know, nothing to begin with really, so learned a lot of cool stuff from you guys last night. Hey, Kiwi, what's going on? Yeah, sorry you left early yesterday. You were tired. Yeah, no worries at all. It's good to see you again. And so you know what happened? We thought we were gonna go the whole way with this thing, but same thing happened to me. It was it was at that point where I had to cut it off. So I did the same thing. So, but yeah, almost done. We've got 1.5 bags to go, as you can see. And so this one should be wrapped up here today. I'm pretty certain of that, Kiwi. So yeah, appreciate you tuning in again. You play any Among Us this weekend? Yeah, it does look good. I've got them out separately right now. I've still got a way to have the shuttle coming up, but yeah, they did a really good job there. I mean, it looks just fantastic. Oh, okay. So you'll get some gameplay on Monday. Cool. I'll be sure to check it out. One thing cool is that they did, yeah, busy during the weekend, I hear you. We got a little bit of downtime right now, obviously, but yeah, the rest of the weekend usually usually running around myself too, so I definitely hear you on that. I will say it is nice being able to do this a little bit in the daytime though, because again, same as you, usually got stuff going on during the day, so I can't usually come on until what is it, like 8 or 9? I usually come on, so it's I definitely hear you on that. But it's nice to be able to see the sunlight at least. Yeah, this thing is ginormous. I don't know if you saw the 911 with it, but I'll show you again real quick. It definitely competes. Yeah, way bigger than I expected too. I mean, it's definitely neck to neck with the 1:8 scale Gt3. So I'm sure the Range Rover, I think the Range Rover is actually a little shorter than this, so this might actually be longer than the Range, or not the Range Rover, but the Land Rover Discovery. So I think this might actually be longer than the Discovery. Oops. Definitely missed a clip on this one of these parts here. Yep, I did. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry. Hope you can get it. Hope you can definitely get it. I wonder how big the Saturn V is gonna be. Like, I think the Saturn V is like really tall, so that's like another level right there. But this one's got some heft to it, though, for sure. It was a pretty fun build too. Not, you know, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all, but definitely a nice involving build at that. So I will say that. And it is mostly, I do like that, you know, the shuttle itself has mostly white, but you still get some of the black and a little bit of gray pieces. But the Hubble Space Telescope, you've got a lot of that cool silver build. So there's a little bit of variety there too, which is pretty cool. Oh, the Saturn V at Houston. Wow. Yeah, I bet that thing is. Are you talking about like you're talking about like a real life replica, like a true to scale replica? You're not talking about Lego, right? I'm sure you mean a replica of the real thing. But I'll bet. I wonder how tall in feet that thing is. Yeah, we're about to wrap up this bag 16 here. Huh. I'm a little bit stuck. I think I missed a fairly big piece here. Let's go back. I'm pretty sure I did miss something. Yeah, I missed something fairly large. I skipped over like a whole page. So let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit. Nothing too crazy though. Oh wow. So Kiwi's saying that they've got a display broken out in different stages and on the side. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so you had to walk around the whole thing. That must have taken a minute. Need to go back a little more, I think. I think I'm missing a couple things here. That. Might have to bust out the brick extractor here. Oh yeah. Okay, we've got it. I think we've got it now. Had to backtrack a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I skipped like a whole page of good stuff pretty much. So I think we're back on track. But Okay, get back to where we were. Yeah, looking good. Okay, I think we're back now. So the box, let me, I think I could bust out the box. The box is fairly big, but it's very narrow. Let me grab it. Let me show you. The box is about yay big. It's a little bit misleading because really it's an unusually narrow box. I don't know why they didn't just make it a little bit wider and then make this dimension smaller, because this is it's a little bit much for me. But if you're looking for scale, like if you get to the store, like when you lay the box out this way, it's almost as tall as the box. So okay, I think we're back on track with the whole sidetrack fiasco here. Okay, so we've got the second orbital maneuvering system here. And it's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of nozzles here, and it's got a bigger firing nozzle out here. And we're gonna go ahead and clip that on. Let me make sure we're done first with this. Okay, yeah, we got it. So, all right. So clipping that on. So again, this is pretty fairly large assembly, and it's just going to connect with 2 Technic connectors here. So it kind of just snaps onto place. And one thing that's kind of weird is you can kind of since it's on that kind of Technic hinge, it's actually rotatable. It locks in place, it snaps at different positions, but it's kind of funny how they did that. It's not like a stud connection per se. So wow, that's looking pretty finished. We've just got to do the main deck here on the crew compartment, and I think we're done, but it's looking really polished already. And check out that, you've got a lot of stuff going on here. Really cool. So I think that all that's left is to do the we're on bag 17. So all we've got left to do is the crew compartment, and I think the display stand extension, which we're gonna get to check out too. So. Oh, landing gear. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the landing gear, landing without the crew capsule, or without the crew compartment. All right, so again, the body spoiler does go up and down like that, and when you push it forward, you've got the gear. So let me see it. Push it forward, and there you go. So they snap pretty firmly, pretty solidly. I will say that when they're down, they're not locked. So if it's rolling in reverse, you can kind of trip it on something. I could see that happening because it's not fixed this way. So the clearance is pretty low. The clearance, Kiwi's asking how high is the clearance. Oh boy, that's a good question. If you're talking about clearance for the bottom, I'd say in the back you've got about 1 inch, and on the front you've probably got like half inch to an inch, because it's lower. It rakes towards the front, so it sits when it's on the ground. It sits kind of like that, like slanted forward. Kiwi's saying that, yeah, if you do roll it backwards. Okay, yeah, if you do roll it backwards, he's saying that you will, the landing gears could retract. And you can, let me show you the, you can kind of see the middle of the cargo bay sliding, and that's the activation there for the landing gear, all the way back from the body flap. But okay, yeah, it looks like someone said that the if you roll it backwards, the gears will come back up. All right. So now the upper deck, and I think that'll wrap up the shuttle. And I think we've got some of the black parts here for the stand extension. All right, Kiwi heading out. Yeah, well, thanks again for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out again. Happy Easter and all that, and hope it's good rest of the weekend for you. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see the full review and finished product. Thank you. Yeah, me too. I can't wait to do the video on the full thing once this thing wraps up. Hopefully in about a week or so, I should have the full review up. All right, thank you. Yeah, guys, but this was a pretty hefty thing. It took about 3 nights of working on it for me. A lot of people are saying 4 to 5 hours, so that makes me feel really bad because I think I'm going into like the 9th hour here on this thing. So I feel really bad. It takes me it takes me this long to do it. And I think we've got studs coming in for the remaining crew seats and whatnot in the main cabin. Okay. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to be the really in-depth kind of detailed build with tiny pieces here. You can see that's where this is going. Again, we're doing the crew compartment. And we have done the mid deck already, so we're doing the upper deck or the main deck. Oh, one thing that I didn't show you, that's here in the last bag, we do have a lot of printed pieces, more of the kind of calculator looking pieces for the control control panels and whatnot, and a cool printed piece. And I think this is new for the shuttle. I think it is a new piece for them. But as you can see, it is printed already. So there's that. And we've got some slanted pieces too, with the couple slanted pieces too, cheese wedge pieces with the prints on them as well. Yeah, so we're building the bulk of the kind of cockpit and the control panels here. There are actually interesting a couple, you know, different printed pieces for the control panel. Most of them look like the calculator, but some of them are other kind of like number pad looking things. One of them, which I can't really even find at the moment. So I think until we do find it, we're gonna put a normal oh no, I was wrong. So one of them is kind of like the panel at the top is basically just a calculator upside down. So I thought it was a different printed piece, but it's not. It's another calculator piece, so scratch that. All right, putting this on. Looking cool. Putting the remaining crew seats on. Hey, Lego and Things, happy Easter to you. Good to see you again, and thanks for tuning in again. Hope you're doing well, and hope you're having a great weekend. Ooh, and then we do have a one of the the hatches at the top. It is on a printed piece, so it is a sloped connection, and the window at the top is printed. So that's very cool. Let's see how that gets on. So we've got two of those. Oh, no problem. And Lego and Things is doing awesome, so that's great to hear. Good to hear. Okay, so we have kind of got the printed cockpit glass here, and then again, what I didn't know is that these two hatches are also printed on the top. So very cool. So I think at this point we're going to go ahead and put the canopy on top. So before we cover that up, Lego and Things looks awesome so far. Yeah, thank you. And we're almost done. It's kind of in the background there, but it doesn't show how really massive this thing really is. So putting it up next to me, you can kind of see for scale. Just the size of it, which is really, really cool. So there we go. All right, let's throw that back on there, and I mean we're pretty much wrapping up here, guys, but let me show you the cockpit real quick. The upper deck, the main deck. We've got a lot of control panels, and I'll go ahead, once we're done with this, I'm going to zoom in. I'll bring the camera around and we'll look at things in more detail. But yeah, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 crew seats here. You've got one little crew seat down in the mid deck. I've seen setups where they have two down there, and I don't see an extra seat. So what you have is you've got five seats total. But they do have a really good detail of the control panel here. And now we're going to go ahead and Wow. So there you go. There's your little upper cruise space. And I think all that's left to do is stick this on the shuttle and then build the stand, or build the stand extension. So there you go, it just kind of pops on. And wow, look at that. That is pretty awesome. That is just sweet. So there you go, guys, the Space Shuttle Discovery. Let's go ahead and build the stand extension, because we want to go ahead and see how it's going to look with the different the configuration with the Hubble in there. Maybe now that we're done with this, let's see if I could stand it up for you guys. So the connection to the stand, it's not like a stud on stud. I've never had a UCS or anything like that, so it's my first time seeing something pretty much on a stand. It's basically just a slide in, you know, it's not really connected per se. It just uses its own weight to stay on it. And maybe I can put this way up here for you guys. There you go. And then we're going to finish this stand extension and then go ahead and throw the Hubble on it. And while we're doing that, oh, you know what? We have to build the Hubble, the extra set of Hubble arms too, with the solar arrays rolled up. So while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and put Hubble back in there. So there you go, two separate builds that you can basically put into one build. So moving on to the stand. But yeah, again, wrapping up the weekend. Hope it's been good for you guys. Certainly having a busy one myself, but glad I could take a second or two to do this, because we were so close to the finish line. So close yesterday, and it was a little bit of a bummer to quit, but I'm glad we didn't, because now we can do this, finish just the last bag today and have more time to show you guys around it. So I can't complain. So we've got to do this 3 times. But yeah, I mean, I think it's looking pretty good. The size of it is, it's still getting me for sure. So I was thinking about doing something like putting it on the wall vertically. And standing it up that way. I think that's going to be a cool way to display it. And I know that something that's not going to be too hard to do either, so if I do that, I'll definitely show that off if it's something we can pull off. Stand, we're building this again, we're building the stand extension here. All right. Lego and things is saying you suck. Oh man. Yeah, I know though. It's not new news to me. All right, so let's see. What? Oh, right now we're building the Hubble. The arms with the things folded up here. So there you go. So this will go into the Hubble, and I think when these are on the Hubble, you can put them. They take a bit of space, but you should be able to still put them in the cargo bay like that. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Okay, so we went ahead and did the stand extension. We did the two Hubble arms here, and I think we can. Let's try and see if we could put the Hubble on the stand like it's kind of coming out. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the build, we are pretty much done. So that's that. We can just kind of check it out in the different configurations now. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Should have probably read the instructions on how to put it together, but let's see if we can manage it without. Hey Lebowski, yeah, just we're just wrapping it up. We actually just built the stand, and we're gonna go ahead and put the Hubble in. Thank you for tuning in too again. Trying to get these. All right. Okay, so I believe this goes like so. Nope, I think I'm wrong already. Yeah, let's go ahead with instructions. Oh, okay, we got it. It goes way up here. That's pretty cool. Check that out, guys. And you've got the here are the alternate arms here for the Hubble. And you can also get the Canada arm to mount onto the Hubble. Like so. Or I thought. Hey, that's pretty cool. So there it is, in all its glory. Alright, so let's take a second just to gotta take a second to admire this here real quick. And let me clear stuff on the way so I can bring the camera up and get it in close. So looking good, looking good. So let me figure out how to get the Hubble to I'm sorry, how the Canada arm clip onto the Hubble, because I'm sure it's supposed to clip. Right now it's not doing that. Oh, I guess it doesn't even really clip. I think it just kind of stays on like that. Okay. Very cool. It is done, you all. Check that out. This thing is massive, especially with the Hubble attached onto it like this. This is just crazy. Really, really cool. So let's go ahead and get in up close. Let me put that here. Let's see if we can get close up with the features here. So check it out, guys. You've got two printed pieces here, and I really like the big printed NASA piece here. The Hubble's looking really good. You've got the Canada arm that can kind of attach to it. You've got all the cameras out here on the cargo bay. You've got one in the back there. And then you've got this, I forgot what we called it. This thing was called like the Woo something antenna back here. And the Canada arm does attach to it when it's back in place. You do have this kind of dish here. I didn't quite know what this was for, but probably comms of some sort. And moving up to the front, you do have a sticker Discovery piece here. And actually I put the other one upside down, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that sorted out. You've got really good detail in the adjusters here. The nozzles here that fire out in the front. And now going into the, oh actually before we get into the crew compartment, let me show you guys the going into the window here. Whoops. You've got a window in the cargo bay here from the crew compartment looking out. And the top hatches here and the cockpit glass is printed. So going into the crew compartment, taking off the top section, you've got a really cool array of control panels there. You've got 4 crew seats. Going into the mid deck here. So the mid deck has some, actually I think maybe even cooler details than the deck above. You've got one more crew seat. They show you the details up here where they had a lot of storage, and then the flight equipment and computers. And then towards the back you've got lockers, storage, whatnot. I think actually this one was the bathroom on the shuttle, but you've got also the hatch here going into the cargo. And then here are those windows that look into the cargo bay. And you've got the controls for the Canada arm there. Really, really cool detail on the inside there. And then let's go ahead and pop the canopy back on, or I'm sorry, the upper deck on. And get the cockpit canopy back on. Another cool printed piece was going into the back of the cargo bay. You've got the flag there. And that's a printed piece too, which is cool. Now we've got the main engines in the back. You've got the course correction system here. in really, really good detail. And around the main engines, as you know, if you turn the top engine, that's going to change the pitch or the roll of the aircraft here, as you can see with the elevons moving up and down. We've got the rudder that can move uniformly right or left, and you can also activate it as a spoiler by splitting it to slow the shuttle down on its approach and landing. So very, very cool. And check out that view down the cargo bay. That's pretty cool too. You can kind of see into the glass all the way into the crew compartment way up front. Getting into some details here, let's check out the Hubble Space Telescope. It's looking really good. I did mention earlier, kind of when we were building it, the printed pieces are not the normal quality that we're used to here. They're kind of like a, it looks like, I guess they're painted over. But you kind of see, yeah, a little bit of the imperfections and spray paint effect and whatnot. But it doesn't bother me really. It's just something to note. I do really like that they gave you these pieces, and the NASA up top is also printed. The Hubble also, as you know, will give you the ability to open up the front doors there to expose the lens of the telescope, so that's a really cool feature. And you've also got two sets of arms here, one arm showing the solar array rolled up while it's in the shuttle, and you do have to replace it out for these really cool solar panels for when it is in orbit. And there's my hatred of stickers displayed here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix this, you all. So I think I'm gonna take a heat gun, get some low heat on that, and see if we can fix that without completely ruining the sticker. So let's get one more kind of close-up view here. I do definitely like the rear three-quarter view on this. And it's a really massive model. You're really getting your good money's worth for this for sure. And so that being said, you know, let's go ahead and take the Hubble out. Let's put it on their separate stands and wrap it up from there. I'll show you kind of the last completed build. Oh, one thing I didn't show you on the stand here. I guess they wouldn't be landing while deploying the Hubble telescope, but just for giggles here, let's show you the landing gear. I'm going to push on the body flap. It's going to activate all landing gears. So another pretty cool feature. All right. So let's go ahead and get back into focus here. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Like we'll wrap it up. Let me put it on the two separate stands, just show you that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up there. So fairly straightforward process to switch it out. Okay. Yeah, you really just remove the center stand extension. You can replace the arms here, and actually the arms are a bit tricky because if you kind of pull out sideways, it's going to pull out some of this body work here. So you don't want to pull it that way. You kind of want to maybe hold on to the body and pull it straight out because it's a pretty tight fit. So you don't want to take that out that out with you. Yeah, these are pretty sturdy Technic connection pieces here. One other feature with the Hubble is you do get these the arms that also extend while in orbit, so you can kind of see it there. Another cool piece is the piece that you remove to put the stand extension on while it's in the shuttle. Is apparently a piece that they had gone up and replaced in a real mission, so that this kind of actually replicates something, which is pretty cool. Oh, and that is cool because you do have a printed piece here, which I didn't even notice. That kind of looks like some circuitry and whatnot. And this one kind of just pops in the stand really easily. Again, it's not like a stud connection, it just kind of slots in there. Same with the shuttle. Alright, closing this up. So you can now see both of these in their form separately. So definitely two separate builds. It's kind of like a 2-in-1 set. So looking pretty good. Definitely a gigantic model here. So one more thing I'll do for you, and actually I'll do another thing. I'll put this on the table with the gears deployed so you can kind of see how it sits. But I do want to show you guys again one more time for scale. If we can get both of these down, or maybe side by side, that might be better. The shuttle compared here, maybe it's better with my arm not in the way, with the 911. So they're just about the same size, and this is a huge, heavy model. So lengthwise, they're pretty much neck and neck, which is amazing. Let's get it on the ground here for you. Let me show you how that sits. So there it is sitting, and again, as I mentioned, it does have a front rake to it, so it is sloped downwards. It doesn't sit completely level, but that is true to the real-life shuttle. It sits at a little bit of an angle, and you've got a pretty, maybe like I'd say maybe an inch to the rear wheels and maybe about 3/4 of an inch at the front wheel. so pretty low clearance. And that's pretty much that. So yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much done here. That is the Lego 10283 Space Shuttle, NASA Space Shuttle Discovery, along with the Hubble Space Telescope. This was quite a long, as you know, build. It was a 3-day, 3-stream build here. So it was definitely a blast having you guys on and having y'all come on and participate in the conversation. I definitely learned a lot of cool stuff too along the way. So this is definitely a more memorable build in my book. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the conversation. This was great. The model looks beautiful. I hope you guys can get your hands on it. It just released, so you'll have plenty of time to do so. But I hope you guys can get your hands on it if you're looking for it and get to enjoy it yourself. But either way, thanks for coming here to build it with me. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. I will be doing a full review video, just like the other review videos that I do on the sets. I will be doing a similar style video with much better quality than this. So hopefully in about a week or so I can get that out, and I'm looking forward to see you guys on the next one. Thank you, and thank you again, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe. Enjoy yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. So take care.